Good evening, folks. I just got off work and it is snowing. It is minus 11 here tonight in Fort McMurray. And as you can see, we have snow coming down. But you probably want them out too much other than make the roads really slick. Brought the camera inside because it's really cold to the fingers. Putting that camera outside. Oh my world. And I had the truck in a higher gear. Stupid me. Oh my. Yeah, it was another busy day at my store. Not my store, but the place I work in. I had another freight day. It was busy, busy, busy. Glad to be home. I'm off tomorrow, thank the Lord. I usually work Tuesday to Saturday, but this week I worked the Monday because of the stat holiday, so they had to give me another day off this week, so Thursday is the day. So I'll be off tomorrow. So there's something I would like to say for some people have been asking like a lot of different questions about different places, and they even ask a lot of places or a lot of questions about Cano College and Fort McMurray, the rents here in general. And to be perfectly honest, I do not know the rents here in Fort McMurray. I would say the best thing anyone could do would be to look up on your internet rents in Fort McMurray, Alberta, or rental agencies in Fort McMurray, Alberta, because I do not know anything about what rents are here, and the same when it comes to anything about Cano College. I have nothing to do with Cano College. The only thing I could say is to go to their website, and any information that you would want, you would find there at the website, or you could actually even send them a message on that website concerning anything. And like, you know, my channel really, what it's about is showing a photographic idea, or the towns. It's going in and videoing them and showing the layout of the towns. I live in Fort McMurray, Alberta. We are 5 hours really away from anything. And a lot of towns that I'm in, I go in and I video them, I try to look for the best, like I'm not going in there with a mindset, oh, I'm only going to do the rich part of town or whatever. I try to do an honest to God view of the town, no matter what part it is. And I try to capture the whole town. So it's basically, my channel is about just showing what Canada looks like, showing what the towns look like. I do not go and find out information about these towns. Quite frankly, I don't even have the time for that when I am. My whole goal with the channel was just to photograph Canada, video it, and do as many towns as I can. And to go in, and a lot of times could be on a weekend, and to go to a town office, you know, they're not always open. I have gone in and to a couple of towns and said, this is who I am, I'm here photographing your town, and then all these questions and concerns and don't do this and don't do that, you know, come to light. So I just find it's better just go in and get out. That's generally what I do. And I was into this one town one time, and this lady, I mean, anyone who watches my videos, you know this, I really do more like a street shot. I try not to really put individual houses. I don't like invading anyone's privacy. So I was in this one town, this is a couple of years ago, and this lady came up and she was beyond spitting mad. And I tried to explain, and she said, you're the one, she said, who's bringing all these robbers around, places is getting robbed and all this. And I said, like, my dear, this is the first time I have ever been in your town, and it will probably be the last time I'm ever in your town. And I tried to give her my information, and she would not have none of it. But what she did do is she copied down my license plates, and the next morning I got a call from the RCMP here in Alberta, and asking me if I was in such and such a town, and I told him I was, and he asked me what I was doing there, and I explained to him that I go around and I do promotional videos. I just try to show all the towns, and I don't do individual houses. I usually do just street shots of where I am. And he said, well, he said, to me, he said, sounds like you're doing a wonderful thing. He said, you're showing what a town, like a lot of places that are off the beaten path, you're giving them a view for people to come. And I said, well, the sign says, welcome to such and such a town. But I said, like, I don't really feel that welcome here. And I said, if you want, you can go back to the town and you can tell them that if they want, I do not have to post the video off the town. I can leave it. So I said, if I don't hear back from you, I said, I'll leave it and I'll post it. But I said, if I hear back from you, no worries, I will not post it, and I will never ever go into that town ever again. So yeah, it can be sometimes pretty difficult when you're going into places. So I tried to not really get into too much conversations with people. And you know, if a town didn't want me to show a video off it, well then I would certainly take it down, right? I'm not getting into no arguments with people. I think we live in a beautiful country, and so many times you can be driving the highway and you think, oh, I wonder what's in there, and you never ever get to go in there. You never ever know. And there's so many places I visit here in Canada that it's off the beaten path here in Alberta, right? And no one ever goes on those roads. So that was my goal, and that's my aim, is to just show all the towns, right? Not just the bigger towns, but all the little hamlets and villages. So that being said, it's like I don't really know anything about the towns. I'm not researching the towns. I'm not researching the history. The channel is really about showing a picture view of what the town looks like. So I hope that helps some people. And my suggestion is, if you want to find out anything about a town here in Canada, look up the name of the town through Facebook, their page. Most towns usually have a Facebook page, and they can tell you anything about it, or they have a web page. And that's what I've learned. And sometimes when I've written descriptions of towns, I usually say how far it is from Edmonton or wherever. Now, this past year was a really rotten year. I did not get a chance to do a lot of that stuff. As I've said in the past, I was off for 2 months with a really bad leg, and was actually in a lot of pain that I could not do a lot. So yeah. So anyway, folks, I hope that clears up some questions that I've been receiving, and I really do appreciate, you know, everyone looking at the videos. I don't mind answering questions if I can, but there's, like I said, when it comes to the economies and all that of a town, I do not have the answers to that. And you can really, if you really want to know, you're better off to just punch in the name of a town and find out that itself, and ask your questions directly to the town office, because they would know more than I would know. Okay? So like I said, I really appreciate everyone looking at the videos, and yeah, thank you all for looking at them. Anyway, folks, take care. God bless. I have a bus coming, and I have to get out of the way. So anyway, folks, take care. God bless, and we will see you in tomorrow morning's video. Good night, folks. Have a great night. Bye-bye. The snow is really, really coming down. It's probably not going to be a lot, though. Unfortunately. But I'm not going to complain that it's snowing. We need the moisture here in the ground. The only thing is, it's going to be really, really slick on the roads tomorrow. morning for anyone commuting and driving out to the sites, which my son does all the time, and I hate it. I don't know why he doesn't take a bus. So, anyway, folks, I bid you a wonderful evening. Take care, and I hope I answered some questions for you folks. So, take care, God bless, and have a great night, and we'll see you in tomorrow's video. Bye-bye.